Today I fucked up by complaining about the music when a nurse, tech was rooting around in my bladder. So like a year ago, I went to the toilet one night to discover I was pissing blood. Dismayed, to say the fucking least. I went to the urologist and he's like, yeah, you need a cystoscopy. We did the thing. He found a tumor in my bladder about the size of a matchstick head. We cut it out. Tested. Wasn't cancerous. Something called a PUNLMP. I live to fight another day. What a relief, right? Well, I still have to get the goddamn procedure every 3 months to check to make sure the tumor thing doesn't grow back. It's called a cystoscopy. Anybody who is not familiar with cystoscopies, it's an outpatient thing where they jam a camera up your urethra. Let's just say, it's not comfortable. Well, this morning, I'm there. The nurse or tech, whatever she's called, is up in there looking around and for some reason she decides to turns on the radio. I don't know why she does it, but she does. I like to think I'm a good sport generally, so I don't say much, but for some reason during this 15 minutes procedure every song that comes on is just fucking ridiculous. I think the first song was, Shake Your Groove Thang, which obviously I'm thinking of my own, Thang, during, followed by, Cuts Like a Knife, by Bryan Adams and, If I Could Turn Back Time, by Cher. Then, Cold as Ice, by Foreigner. No tumor this time. She yanks the thing out. I'm relieved. I leave. I'm like, I can't be the only person on earth who doesn't like this. Oh well. Life goes on. Then, I get a survey emailed to me from the urology company asking about my experience. I think, okay, this is probably the forum for this sort of thing. I leave, very, light-hearted advice on this survey. It's a kinda weird to have Cher singing while you're getting a camera jammed up your urethra, or something like that. And not 2 minutes later, just like 10 minutes ago, the tech's boss calls me to apologize on her behalf and say things were handled. I insist that she did a great job and probably wasn't even considering it and that it wasn't her fault and what the hell did it mean things were handled. It wasn't that big of a deal, etc. The boss tells me they put her on indefinite leave of absence for this. And I'm like, what the fuck, lady? That isn't fair. Is this something that's happened before? Surely I can't be the only reason. I'm not at liberty to say that, the boss says. And then I guess because I copped an attitude with her, she gets off the phone. I feel terrible. I'm angry. My penis hurts. Also, I'm surely part of a masterclass on what the fuck not to do as urology clinic. Gah. Too long did not read. Got a camera jammed up my cock while listening to classic rock, and because I lightly complained, an otherwise nice person was presumably fired for it. The real today I fucked up is when you go back to the clinic for your next checkup and have to sit in awkward silence as the previously suspended tech awkwardly jams a cold camera in your peeper. Dude, they go up in there for 15 minutes? I had one done not long ago and it was no longer than 45 seconds. Felt like an eternity. I commend your resilience. Hey medical coders, what's the INS billing code for providing auditory therapy during a procedure? Why wasn't the survey anonymous? I at least has a similar story for the first bit. Pissed blood, camera up my dick. Make sure it's not bladder cancer, thank fuck. But turns out my kidney was going through explode due to a birth defect. Fuck me, right? Well, the kidney grew the wrong way around a vein, causing fluid backup. So little did I know that the severe back pain I could tank hydrocodone with little effect I had had for the past 10 goddamned years was because of kidney stones the backup was causing. One skewering by a cybernetic squid later, and 6 holes in my gut, issue solved. Today I fucked up when I invited a homeless person to a house party. Last night I, 24 male, convinced a random homeless man to come with me to a house party. I was very high when I made this decision. The house party was also a costume party. I had an extra costume, but not an extra person, so stoned me was like, why not go out and find an extra person? The homeless man in my street was at the top of my list of potential candidates. I approached him and asked if he was keen to go to a house party dressed as a stormtrooper. He asked if there would be food. I said yes. And alcohol. Homeless man was in. We showed up at the house party together. I was dressed as Jesus. White robe, crown of thorns, hippie hair, you know, the conventional version. The homeless man was dressed from head to toe as an average stormtrooper. I encouraged him to avoid removing his helmet and drawing too much attention. A suggestion, not an instruction. I didn't keep an eye on the homeless man for the entire night. He did his thing. I did mine. From time to time I caught him low-key lifting his helmet above his mouth to eat or drink when he thought no one was watching. Seeing that convinced me that I did the right thing. The homeless man was having a good time and my stormtrooper costume did not go to waste. A win-win. Like I said, I was high. If you're reading this, something obviously went wrong. I found out when it was too late that another person at the party was also wearing a stormtrooper costume. That stormtrooper was at the party with his GF, who at some point confused the two stormtroopers and ended up grind dancing with the homeless stormtrooper. The boyfriend stormtrooper noticed his girlfriend enthusiastically rubbing her butt on another person's crotch and wasted zero time introducing his fist to that recipe. I was not there to witness what happened in person, and even if I was, I doubt I would have been sober enough to realize what was going on. I've heard more than one version of the story. Some say the two stormtroopers fought each other until the unknown stormtrooper lost the fight and ran away. Others say the unknown stormtrooper won the fight and then ran away. That being said, everyone agreed that one of the stormtroopers did indeed run away. No one knows it was my stormtrooper who ran away with my costume. I really liked that costume. Now I might never see it again. TLRI invited a homeless man to a costume party and gave him my stormtrooper costume. If any of you spot a stormtrooper sleeping on the streets, please tell him to return my costume. You don't want that costume back. Barges into party. Steals the girl of his evil twin. Wins the fight, canon. Refuses to elaborate. Leaves. I need to see this as an animated short story. Absolutely fantastic. Bahaha, you definitely made someone's night. If not any people they saw a drunken homeless stormtrooper fight a random other stormtrooper. God, what a sight that was. I bet. His sign is going to read, "Need money for shooting lessons, birth of a legend." Today I fucked up by not moisturizing. I'm a dude in my late 30s, and my entire life I've thought that moisturizing was a bullshit marketing term to sell women's beauty products. I never thought it meant anything substantial. The term, dry skin, never meant anything to me. However, the last few months my legs have been really itchy. Like, everywhere, especially on my shins. I do laundry and wash my sheets on a regular basis, so I was pretty sure it wasn't bugs. It was itchy enough that I was scratching pretty deep, and the scratches weren't healing. In fact, I got 2 staph infections in the skin, like giant, painful zits, in the last 2 months that were large and painful enough that I had to go see a doctor and get them taken care of, which was both physically and financially painful. The second time I went to see the doctor was today, and he finally explained the FU to me. As you get older, your body stops being so great at moving water everywhere around your body, so your skin tends to dry out, especially in the legs and extremities. This leads to dry skin. The thing about that is that water is the basis for your blood, and therefore your immune system, so dry skin is more prone to infection. If I want to avoid more skin infections, I have to use moisturizing soap and lotion going forward. Too long did not read. Moisture is the essence of wetness. Wetness is the essence of a healthy immune system that protects you from skin infections. Moisture is the essence of wetness. But why male models? Looks like your skin needs some hydration. Who knew that moisturizing wasn't just a fancy word for expensive lotion for ladies? That explains what has been going on with my face for the last year, thanks. Working on hospital, so many old people turn up with dry scaly legs. Nivea makes a good lotion for men. Best to apply it straight out of the shower to trap the water moisture in your skin.